I bear the number 666 is already the first lyric. Right, Brandon's on drums too. Formerly of Enterprise Earth.
I bear the number 666.
I can't keep up. Okay, this part's backwards. Oh fuck, that's a sick transition. Oh, that is such a cool transition. Oh, it's from the video. Down, 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 down. Fuck, this song's a marathon, dude. There's really no breaks between the heaviness, man, and it's so dark and encompassing. I said that word, encompassing. Encompassing. You just want to growl. It's different knowing the lyrics. We in the Amazon? Something cannibalistic with this. The backwards fucking satanic shit goes so hard. This is already my second favorite. Doing the Matthew McConaughey thing. Oh, I think this is my favorite. Oh. All right, this is more about the groove. Jesus. Back to it, okay. Jesus. Oh Mammoth God. Something a little bit different. Just, it can still be heavy. Oh, are we getting it? Natural melody. We had some solos, but this was definitely much more resounding. I can't help it, man. Why wasn't there more of this throughout the record? I understand it's supposed to be dark and evil, but this album could have used a lot more variety. Getting Darkest Hour vibes with this. All right, Whitechapel, Hymns and Dissonance. Let's talk about it. All right, that was one of the most darkest, not even darkest, one of the most sinister sounding records that I've ever heard. This album was meant to scare the listener. Phil Bozeman has gone on record to say, why is deathcore just not like dark anymore? He didn't say that, I'm paraphrasing, but he wanted deathcore to just be at its essence, you know, bring back the death metal element to the music, and they absolutely delivered. This is so relentlessly, almost obnoxiously heavy. It's so over the top, and Phil's vocals are incredible, but we all know this. The dude is, he showed off his singing with the past few albums, but now it's just pure harsh vocals, and his range and his delivery is insane. One of my favorite aspects is him actually growling out the parts backwards. That sounds so satanic and evil. I love it. Now, there's things I do enjoy about this record, but as you can see towards the second half of the record, I started to lose a little bit of interest. I was yawning. The music is so heavy and so in your face that why was I yawning? And it really just boils down to how I am as a listener and how I just stress for variety within a record. I found that all these songs, minus the X and Furnace, which was like an interlude, but all the songs just kind of sound the same. Although they're really good, they all just were kind of doing the same thing. Blast beat section, and then just like growls before a drop, before this different chugging section, maybe add in a guitar solo that they all kind of feel kind of similar to, except for the one solo, Mammoth God. But really, this record does feel like one giant piece of music. So it's really cohesive in that regard, but I needed some variety, and I didn't need like a slow song or anything, but just maybe something that felt maybe they continue the tribal element that they did with X and Furnace, and then just went off with that rather than going back to those same deathcore tropes of blast beats, growls, and everything. That's another thing. This is a deathcore record that just is playing to Whitechapel's old sound, but also just a lot of the reoccurring deathcore themes that we're hearing. And for someone like me that is kind of just craving freshness for, you know, hearing the next evolution of the band, I feel like this record's not really for me. This record, it seems like a nice tribute to the fans. This feels like fanfare for the fans who've been wanting that old school Whitechapel. I'm a fan of Kin and the Valley. I love the progressive metal and even rock elements to that. So going into this record, I can still appreciate for what it is, but it's not really capturing my interest that much, especially when there's really not too much variety, which is something that I absolutely need on a record. But from an atmosphere perspective and from an instrumental perspective, especially drums, Brandon's drum work is relentless. The dude crushed it on Enterprise Earth. He's crushing it here, but with the atmosphere from just the guitars and the ambience, the letting sections breathe before the next section drops and hits you and pummels you with more growls. They're so effective. The problem is they just kept doing it, and it just didn't have the same punch. A record like this that is so bloated with the heaviness and the over-the-top evil darkness to it could have used an approach that where less is more. It was a little too full on for my liking. And again, Ex Infernus was a much needed interlude, but then for the second half of the record to do the exact same stuff as the first half, except for track 10 with that cool outro, which was a nice way to close the album. But that was the only different sort of feeling. The rest of the record just, again, was over the top, extravagant, heavy music. But that's the purpose of this record. So it's not for me, but I definitely see the appeal to it. I'm giving it 7.1 out of 10. Actually, I'm going to bump this up to a 7.5. I'm editing the video and it's going pretty hard, especially Hate Cult Ritual. That song is such a banger. Still, the album's a little too full on for my liking. Could have used a little bit more variety within the heavy space. But Whitechapel's goal was to be incredibly heavy and dark, and yeah, they absolutely delivered. That's my thoughts on Whitechapel, Hymns in Dissonance. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, so comment down below. Spice up my life. Guys, what did you think about this record? I'd love to know. Also, if you're new MVB, then feel free to check out all the other album reactions since you have access. You know, all the other Whitechapel recent album reactions are there. Also, feel free to, join the Discord. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can. But yeah, you might not want to after my thoughts with this record, even though I still enjoyed it. Don't twist my words. I just like Ken in the Valley a little bit more. That's just me. I'm going to end the video. But on that, thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.